Yo, spoiler warnings moving forward. So if you're not trying to get spoiled by the Boruto manga, then you're gonna have to get out. If you're still here, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead, slide over, click the subscribe, and let's get ready for the video. Yo, what's up? It's your man, the Grass Ninja, and in today's video, we're gonna be talking about who's the top dog in the verse, because that seems to be a popular conversation going around in the community right now. It's up in the air right now because we are over here like, is it Isshiki? Was it Baryon mode? Is it this new form of code? Is Kawaki the top dog in the verse? You know, it's not Jigen. But yeah, so like, here's the deal. For this video, right, I want to talk about Code versus Kawaki, because when it comes to Isshiki, right, real quick, we can just say Isshiki wasn't able to utilize his full abilities because he had to conserve power. Because, you know, chakra is power, and then your chakra is connected to your life force, and the more chakra you exert, you know, the more stress you put on your life force and stuff. And Isshiki had a limited amount of chakra that he could utilize, right? So, and then I'm not even going to use Baryon mode because Baryon mode didn't even beat Isshiki, so that's pointless. So when we look at Code and Kawaki, right, we have Kawaki, the perfect vessel for Isshiki. He's a being that can house 100% of Ishiki's power, and it was the being that Isshiki wanted to like reincarnate into, right? And now we have Code, somebody, now that he has his limiters removed, is stated to be above Jigen, right? Now, being above Jigen in statements is like pretty substantial right now. It means a lot, but we don't have statements saying that he's above Isshiki. If anything, he's on the same tier as Isshiki. If anything, right? But then we have to look at Kawaki again, and it's like, okay, so where do we put Kawaki as he is now? Because currently, the assumption is Kawaki is at 80-something% with his Karma Seal extraction, right? Now, there's no reason to assume his Karma extraction has stopped, but there's also no real reason to assume that it has continued, other than the fact that he is technically still around Boruto. Like right now is the end of the chapter, they're like literally one room apart from each other. Like Boruto's just on the other side of this door. And resonance should still be a thing between those two. There's no reason it shouldn't be. Their karmas are still karmas, and like Amado said, Kawaki is still the vessel for Isshiki, right? So I would assume resonance is still picking up, and if Boruto's karma is 100% extracted, right, it should be resonating with Kawaki's to the point where it's rushing his extraction point to be 100. Alright? Now, Kawaki, with his Karma Seal and his abilities, right? He's got the Karma, lets him absorb chakra, do all the stuff we've seen Karma do. He can tap into Ishiki's Dojutsu and use his Dojutsu abilities, manifest a horn, utilize the true essence of Karma, which allows him to basically tap into the knowledge and battle experience that Ishiki's gathered over millennia. Plus, he's got the augmentations that Amado's given him, right? Not to mention Shadow Clone Jutsu from Naruto, and probably some other shit, right? He's got Fire Style, so he's a well-rounded being right now. He's literally the amalgamation of scientific ninja tech and ninjutsu, right? Now, Code, on the other hand, all we know that Code can do is utilize the battle tactics and experience that Ishiki's gathered over the millennia, his black bands, and he's got a new transformation that we don't know if it gives him new abilities or if it just amps up his stats, right? So is he stronger, faster, better? Or does he have new abilities that were locked away due to the limitations Amado put on him? Now, the whole answer to who's stronger right now, Kawaki or Code, depends on if Code has any new abilities, right? Now, I guess a caveat could be that his just power amp is just such that it outclasses wherever Kawaki is right now, but I feel like that's unnecessary, because even if we say, oh, what's the name, Code is stronger and Code is more durable, right? Which I would argue is not the case. You know, if he has access to all of the Karma's abilities, right, and he has Ishiki's power, he should be as durable and everything. Like, he's got the same shit Kawaki has. He just doesn't have the Dojutsu or any of the genetic markers that the Karma would have given him. Plus, he can't absorb chakra and all that shit either. So it's like, he needs new abilities. Like, we don't know what the limiters were. All we know is that now he looks white and shit. Okay? So is he stronger, faster, better? Or does he have new abilities? Okay? Because if he does not have any new abilities, Code's speed is going to have to be above instantaneous. Okay? Because right now, the way things stand,
Kawaki at his peak, right? If he does utilize the true essence of karma and the dojutsu abilities of Isshiki, he's untouchable because the Sukuna Hikona and Daiko Kuten combination right now allows him to move instantaneously, alright? Like literally, the Sukuna Hikona is a dojutsu of Isshiki Otsutsuki's in his unspecified right eye, and it allows him to instantaneously shrink himself or any other non-living matter within his gaze, right? So Kawaki can just look at Code's claw marks and instantly shrink them to a point where he can't even pass through them, right? Not to mention, he can instantly shrink himself down into the Daiko Kuten dimension where time doesn't even move. So it's a separate time space from where Code is. So he could literally move himself into a dimension void of time flow and then pop up somewhere else on the battlefield in that same instant that he left. Alright, so it's like he vanishes and reappears all in the same motion. And we know this to be the case because Naruto and Sasuke, before breaking down Ishiki's jutsu, literally thought that this dude had teleportation abilities, because that's how fast and that's how instantaneous the shrinking and reappearing is, that it might as well be teleportation. It's just more sophisticated than teleportation because he can teleport other shit. Now, I know some people are probably thinking, well, Code can teleport too. Code's powers are different, where he has to scratch a surface or whatever with his claws. These leave these black bands, which act like doorways that he can walk through or pass through in order to teleport to other markers, similar to the flying Raijin, where it's like if you have a marker set up in some place, then you can basically summon yourself instantaneously to those markers, right? Code's ability is not instantaneous. Like, he literally has to pass through the doorways that he's creating, all right? We see this displayed when he first shows us his ability, when he takes out those fodder guards at like Boro's like facility where they're at now. Like, he can pass his hand through one of the claw marks and then it pops out at the other end, literally like walking through a door, all right? Now, this whole teleportation is completely dependent on Code's travel speed, okay? We've seen Code, like, sure, he can travel vast distances really quickly thanks to this ability, but he doesn't instantaneously travel between those. Like, it takes him time to just walk through the claw marks, right? As opposed to Kawaki, who can just instantaneously shrink himself down into a separate dimension and then in said instance reappear somewhere else, right? So when it comes down to speed alone, Kawaki should outclass Code as we understand him now. Now, Chapter 71 is still a few, like, it's like 2 weeks away or something. It's actually like 10 days away, I think. Crazy. Yeah, so as we are now, we don't know if Code's new form grants him new abilities or how significantly it boosts up his speed or anything like that. Now, a lot of people are saying it looks like he has a new dojutsu because his eyes have changed and whatnot. And sure, I'd say that's true, but like at the same time, it could just be a new like look because his previous form was his limited form, right? Now, his true form could be like, yeah, this is what I look like when I have all this chakra and everything flowing through my body. It might not necessarily be a dojutsu because we've seen Naruto and his eyes change through different chakra amps, and it wasn't a dojutsu. Like, even with Toad Sage Mode, his eyes change, but it's not a dojutsu, right? It's just a transformation through the power up, okay? So Code might not even have a dojutsu. He's not instantaneous, as we just debunked right now. He has to actually travel through said claw marks. And then I can show you real quick, like, the first time we saw Code's claw marks get shrunken by the Sukuna Hikona to the point where he couldn't even travel through them, my dude literally like scratches the floor and then tries to trust fall into the claw marks, but that shit doesn't work because Kawaki shrinks them before he can fall into the claw marks, right? So he has to travel through them. Kawaki doesn't have to travel for shit because he can instantaneously teleport around using Sukuna Hikona plus Daiko Kuten. And it's not even just Kawaki. Kawaki could shrink other shit on the battlefield or just summon other shit from the Daiko Kuten dimension instantaneously. Like, the speed of those cubes are ridiculous. Now, if he summons them in the sky and then they start falling down, they're, you know, susceptible to this travel speed of like falling due to the force of gravity. But like, he can make them appear instantly, right? That's the catch, right? So if he uses himself, he can just teleport and reappear anywhere. Now imagine that in conjunction with shadow clones. Bro, are you trying to tell me fighting one Kawaki with all these abilities would be easy? Imagine if he pulled off even just one extra Shadow Clone, because right now he can make one copy of himself. Imagine when he starts making 2 or 3, and then they all start spamming these abilities, bro. Code is going down, and I swear to God, it's not going to be pretty, bro. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, though. Who do you got in this upcoming fight that we are guaranteed to see? We're guaranteed a rematch between Code and Kawaki. Probably even Boruto and Code. Team Kawaki versus Code right now. That's literally what we're headed towards. So let me know in the comment section below. I've been your man, the Grass Ninja, signing off. Peace.